Hi, everyone. I am Linda Welbrock, the founder and CEO of Leading Women Entrepreneurs and the Force for Change Awards for 2021. We have two very special, creative, innovative guests with us today that I'm honored to interview. Their names are Jeff Garibaldi, the CEO, and Jeffrey Garibaldi, the president of the Garibaldi Group. Welcome, Jeff and Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's really an honor, Linda, to be recognized with us. So thank you very much. Thanks to the organization, Leading Women's Entrepreneur, Force for Change, all great stuff. And we're very honored to be here. So thank you.
Thank you for taking the time. And I want to start with just, painting a picture here because you're both involved in so many amazing projects that have impacted the state of New Jersey. But let's start with the beginning, with the mission. What is the mission of the Garibaldi Group? And I'll start with Jeff Sr.
Mission of the Garibaldi Group, to be recognized by our peers of corporate real estate directors and also CEOs, private companies and things of that nature, as a top tier corporate commercial real estate brokerage firm. Our mission really is to engage with them and hopefully instill in them the confidence that they need to allow us to represent their interests as it relates to real estate, whether it be small offices here in New Jersey or large distribution centers across the country. We travel with our clients, and our mission is really to, as I said, just instill that confidence level so that there is a continuance of that service. A lot of our clients we've had for 25 years. So there's been a constant, repeat of opportunities that they presented for us, and we succeeded at, so they keep on coming back. So that's really our mission. We strive to be the best in our field of commercial real estate. It's a very dynamic, a very changing, rapidly changing business and landscape. And so our mission is to make sure that we are, have our finger on that pulse, and we can give and provide our clients the best advice and counsel going forward to satisfy their real estate needs.
Well, you certainly had your finger on the pulse of one of the biggest projects in New Jersey. The Garibaldi Group has been very much associated with the Bellworks project. I believe that's in Rumson, New Jersey. And the first time I saw it, for any viewers who haven't been down there, it'll take your breath away because just the entrance and the building itself is so incredible. And I'd love to know about what your vision was, what your role was in resurrecting this icon in the state of New Jersey.
Well, you mentioned the impression that it makes upon people when you walk into that building. It's they call it the wow factor, and we often said we wish we had a camera discreetly positioned to capture those expressions of interest when they walk finally into this huge atrium, quarter-mile long skylit, because it is really a wow factor. We were very fortunate, and when you look back to the history of the Garibaldi Group, we've been fortunate to have been aligned with some very high-profile properties across New Jersey, the landscape of New Jersey. Giralda Farms, 150-acre corporate park in Madison and Chatham, New Jersey. The Office Center Short Hills, which is demanding some of the highest rents in New Jersey, and so we've had that good fortune. And this was just one of those opportunities that came to us. Ralph Zucker, I think if you look to what he has accomplished in Bellworks, it really is a testament to and really what embodies what to be the force for change, because he was way out ahead of the curve, and he was fearless in that respect, but he was determined in terms of his passion and what he believed that this property could one day be if properly executed a plan to reimagine, is what he basically did. This was an iconic building. It has tremendous history of innovation and invention, and it went dormant. It went vacant. It was overgrown with weeds. There were proposals to knock the buildings down, and in walks Ralph Zucker, who was not a known entity at the time within the field of commercial real estate as we know it. The large developers and institutional developers that are here. It was Ralph Zucker from Somerset Development, and he was taking on what was the largest vacant office building in New Jersey at that time. And everyone was just baffled by it, and I have to admit, including me, it was a leap of faith. But I think, being the nature of our company, privately held and what have you, the ability to make decisions on our own as we see fit. And we jumped in, with 100% of our effort, which was, a little bit challenging because of what might have been the uncertainties, and we're putting all this time and effort. It did come with a price in terms of just that kind of commitment, which is what we do. But Ralph Zucker pulled off every, commitment that he made to fulfill that dream, and it paid off. And here we are today. It's probably, it's no longer the largest vacant office building in America. It's now one of the hottest properties that people are modeling after how to reposition large vacant, buildings in the suburbs, where a lot of the companies had vacated and just left dormant. So it really is testament to what he's accomplished. And we were very fortunate to be riding along his shirt tails. I learned a lot as well, even from a standpoint of having been in this business for 42 years. I learned a lot from him, and he in turn from us, and it's been a great opportunity for us. We were very grateful for it.
Well, it's definitely a jaw dropper, and the wow factor is there. And I'd like to ask Jeffrey. I mean, you were a part of that project from the beginning. Was what you envisioned, originally? Because I saw that amazing video that you produced. How did it evolve from planting the original seeds to what it is today?
Time. I think a lot of time and a lot of hard work. I will not take too much credit because I might have helped out in the presentation, but our team, led by Jeff Sr., was down there every day in a very cold, very vacant 2 million square foot building for about a year and a half, 2 years, really just brainstorming. Which the one thing I always respected. I mean, there's a million things that we can go on for hours about Ralph and, force for change. He kind of did force a change here in New Jersey that I don't think a lot of people in New Jersey even realized they needed, per se. I was somebody who came out of New York City. I came out of Brooklyn. So I had seen these things, these trends that Ralph was trying to leverage in this building, in this ecosystem. So I'd seen it happening, but New York and New Jersey are completely different animals. And it took a real fortitude. It took a real kind of commitment to his vision, which we saw time and time again. You would go into these meetings and they would be 2 or 3 hours long, and everybody would throw everything but the kitchen sink at him as to why, Ralph, you can't think that way, or Ralph, we can't do that. Or there were certain things he was understanding and compromising on, but there were a lot of key elements where he was just like, then you don't get it. And that, especially as somebody new to the business at that time, that was really impressive to see. And now you look back on it, it's very easy to say, he was right. But it was not as easy to say then. I think we saw it, and Ralph's I think leads with his emotion, which a lot of times, which I think my father does as well, which makes them a dangerous tag team when you're trying to put forth a vision that you just have to sell. You have to get people to buy into it without having them actually be able to see, feel, and touch it in those early stages. So.
Well, clearly you put together the dream team, and the visionary and the team around it is what it takes, and you definitely have created something special that is representative of what so many other buildings like that in our great state of New Jersey could aspire to be. So thank you for setting up the model here that everyone, if they haven't been down there, they should go check it out. I know there's Barbella, there's all sorts of things. Just Google Bell Works and check it out.
There's the Oasis, the virtual reality place. Don't forget about.
Oh yeah, that's forget. Anybody who wants a little virtual reality, we're going to throw our friends a little kudos here. And let's.
The one thing that may be helpful, and it's this is very early on. We were brought on that property in 2013, end of 2013. Well before the change in the corporate culture and how we offer, and where it was all trending to in terms of all this dense pack, open spaces all packed with people. Ralph had it became his motto. And it was are you still there?
Yes.
I just get them. And it became our motto, and it's up on the wall. We would walk by it every day, and this is what his mission was. What if the office became a place to live, create, play, research, entertain, connect, dine, incubate, broadcast, mentor, muse, learn, party, and invent, excuse me, invent. And that was by David Rockwell, who was a well respected land planner. And when you look at each one of those components, in and by itself, he did all of that. Really did create it from really nothing, a vacant building. So got this ecosystem down there that is beyond anything that you'll experience in any office building here in New Jersey or around the country. It's really it's well before COVID. And now when you look to COVID and you now see where all the new trends are, we'll talk about that later. This building is so well positioned to accommodate what the new workspace trends are, at least, or what we believe they are. It's still evolving as we speak every day. But
I love that. I love that answer. And it says everything in one sentence and bulleted quite nicely. Let's go back to the Garibaldi group and why it's been important to you to keep it a privately owned company for almost 100 years.
Keep on reminding us now 102 years, and we're counting. Linda, we take great pride in the history of our company, and the family values and the work ethic that was instilled by my grandfather, and through his two sons, my dad and my uncle, and then through all of my brothers. And now I am very fortunate and elated, frankly, that my son Jeff has jumped in and taken the reins of this company. And again, with new generations, new thinking, it enables us to kind of continue to thrive and to build and create and be better than what we were. So, it was important to us to maintain that because, over the years, I won't kid you, we've been approached by all the large firms, global firms, the names of them, that wanted to buy us, purchase. And we would explore and carefully vet out each one of them just to make sure we weren't missing opportunities. But at the end of the day, we saw our independence and our ability to be who we are, who we want to be, and not what everybody else would like us to be, as being extremely important. And that was really the why this company has survived for as long as it has. 102 years is testament to good people at the helm, good people that work for us. It's not just the Garibaldi name, but all of the folks, our employees, many of which have been with us for many years. Extremely important to where we've come as a company and grown as a company. And we love it. And we're fiercely independent. We like that. It's just to be able to have that entrepreneurial spirit to do what you want to do. And I think the other thing too, small business, particularly in this day and age, they are very unique. And I think, they're the lifeline, the lifeblood of any community. And they're usually the folks that first see what might be happening on the landscape and that could, enact change because they see it. They're on the ground. Larger companies, they're just not as nimble and agile as we feel we are, and be able to make some decisions. And now you get the next generation, Jeffrey. You bring in those new, fresh ideas and perspectives. It complements the old gray hairs like myself. And I'm certainly open for it. My brothers are open for it too as well. So it's been a great shot in the arm bringing Jeff in, and all the other younger associates that we have. We've got some young people in our company. We're not just all a bunch of gray hairs. So,
well, you know what? It's a testament to your leadership because you are getting this award in the category of family business, and I've done a lot of research on family businesses that survive, and to have it go through so many generations is really such an example and such a testament again to your leadership and the leaders before you that have run this amazing company. So thank you for that. I'm going to switch to, you got involved in the co-working business in 2019. And Jeffrey, I want to start with you and to tell us a little bit about the station in Chatham and what your experience was like managing that operation through the pandemic.
Sure. Yes, I guess we look back on it as lucky timing wise. We got into the co-working business in 2019. We have a office building here in Chatham, old redeveloped fire station, which is right next to the train station in the middle of downtown. So it was just an excellent location. We had learned so much from Bell Works, and again, that kind of vision that Ralph had, and the kind of flexibility that was coming to the office market and work life. So yeah, 2019, we took the plunge, opened up the station here in Chatham on Fairmont Avenue. And March 11th, we shut her down as in 2020, as a lot of companies did with the pandemic. I think I think one, if we were to pat ourselves on the back, both the Garibaldi group and the station, I think the one thing we can pat ourselves on the back for was really leading with empathy. I think that was just a vital part of leadership throughout, certainly the beginning of the pandemic when so much was uncertain. And so we tried to take that with the station as well, where, and again, small business, like my dad was saying, you have a little bit more flexibility to do what you believe is right. So with the station, we tried to empathize with the people who had offices there, who had kids at home now, and families, and they couldn't get work done at home either. So what we really tried to do was kind of keep communication very open with our tenants. One of our moves early on was to, we had a few people calling us that were in a Starbucks, and we're like, all right, well, that's defeating the purpose. We don't want you to work at a Starbucks. We have, the station, we relied on private offices. Being a co-working space in the suburbs, I certainly believed strongly that the open space model, though it has a place in the suburbs, just like it does in the cities, I think it was just educating people on co-working to begin with was challenge enough. And now you create open floor plans and, take down all these walls. I think it's a little bit too much of a shock value. So we were positioned well when the pandemic happened. So we were able to go to our members and say, listen, don't go anywhere else. Come here. We shut down to the public, so we weren't giving tours. We weren't really entertaining new members. We just wanted to kind of be there for the people who had been there for us in the first, half a year of our existence. And so it was just communication. So we really just set out and say, listen, if you guys need an office, just give us a call. Give us a heads up. We just need to know who's in the office. We need to know where they're at. And just for protection of everybody, the members who are coming in, the people who are taking care of the space, the property managers, etc. We gave a 25% discount right off the bat without anybody asking. We just tried to do everything that we would want as clients and as tenants. And that really, I take it as a true award. We lost one member. Only one member canceled, and that member moved to Virginia, so it was understandable. And then everybody came back by June. It was back up and running, and we were strict protocols, and we managed through it. Knock on wood.
Well, that's a testament again to you being a visionary and putting everybody's safety first, and really sort of making the best out of the worst time here, right? So I have one last question for you. As you know, you're getting this award in the category of family business. The Force for Change is really the theme of this award. And I want to ask both of you, how do you envision continuing to be a force for change? We know that you've had 102 years of being a force for change and making Jersey strong with all of the things that you've touched. So I'll let you each answer. Just concisely say what you're thinking.
I'll go first. Take a shot at it. It is as I mentioned before, we're witnessing this change, right before our eyes, and it's evolving. There's still a lot more of uncertainty, or more. There's still uncertainty for what the future is going to be. I keep on saying to Jeffrey, we should write down, in a note to ourselves, and seal it and bring it out about a year or 2 years from now to see how far we were, or close we were, to how we see this new work environment primarily, but also our culture and our personal social lives. How it's all going to change. So we are just trying to make sure we are availing ourselves of every opportunity to learn from our clients, ask a lot of questions, see how they're doing. We're checking in with them on a regular basis. We have clients right now that are still not certain in terms of whether they're coming back to work in September or in January. So it's really, it's just a lot of handholding, to be very honest with you. And back to what Jeff was saying, in the empathy aspect of it, because we're all kind of the same boat, trying to understand where our lives will be, where our work lives will be. I think, culturally, from a personal perspective, we're still going to be. I mean, I'm already seeing. I did more hugging and kissing on Father's Day than I've done in a whole year. Making up for lost time, and that's all going to settle itself back out. But where the workforce and where our clients are going, or seem to be going, in terms of this new hybrid work space, and people working from home, and how it's empowered a lot of people. I think many people, if they really took advantage of this work from home. This past year has been, it just you turn yourself inside out trying to figure out what you should be doing, when you should be doing it, what have you. So it's been very turbulent for everybody. And I don't care what business you're in. And so what we try to do with our clients is avail all this information that's in front of us, share it with them. And we're trying to just keep our finger on that pulse. We're asking a lot of questions of all the other experts. We don't know all the answers. Our team of experts that we serve our clients would involve an engineer, an architect, a land planner. But even now, HR is huge in terms of human resources, and making sure that whatever the new space is, the new work paradigm, that it's meeting the needs of the employees. Health and their wellness is most important, most paramount.
Yes.
It's a lot of things. It's all cut edge. It's all new frontier, and we see that there's opportunity there if you just manage it properly.
Great. Okay, Jeffrey, if you have anything to add, Force for Change comments.
Force for Change comments. I mean, if I'm taking that out of the office market specifically and bring that kind of more to the social side of things, which I tell everybody is very important to me. I look at myself as kind of a case study of somebody that we want to recruit moving forward, not because I'm so special, but because I come from a generation that is hitting their stride and their prime. And one thing that I think the commercial real estate industry has been slow to adjust to, I think it's a slow adjusting business in general. I think there's a lot of structural reasons for that, not just ignorance per se. But I think on the social side, I think the kind of the old boys club of yesteryears is still very prevalent in commercial real estate. I think that's something that we personally, and I know I speak for we, but certainly I look to create that change. I didn't come right into commercial real estate, and part of that was because that didn't intrigue me. I'm somebody who likes diversity. I like learning different aspects of people and culture, and so we are. I think from the equality standpoint, I think the industry has a lot to do. I think there are some structural things just with being a broker. I don't think recruiting brokers from lower class neighborhoods is a really hard thing to do. There's a lot of you're eating what you kill. The business takes 5 years to kind of really hit your stride where you're making money. And in that time, if you go, if you're operating off of a draw, which is traditional for brokerage firms, you're going into debt every year. That's a hard thing to ask somebody who's come up with very little. It's a privileged opportunity to be able to put in those years and create and and try and earn your stripes. So we're trying to look. Those are not easy challenges to meet. On the gender side of things, I think brokerage is a wonderful opportunity for working families. It doesn't matter man or woman. My wife probably works even harder than I do most of the time. So I play the dad role throughout the day, and I think brokerage, because of its independence and its entrepreneurial opportunities, it creates you have a good opportunity at work-life balance. So I think that's kind of the easier one to address, and we're looking for ways to better recruit, focus on different environments and different atmospheres, colleges, after school programs where you can really get people who are not, you have to find them. They're not necessarily going to find you. And I think putting in that work and really listening as to how we can change the structural component of it to make ourselves more appealing to different cultures and different classes of people.
Well, I love what you've just described and your vision and your goals, and who wouldn't want to work with both of you guys? So anything we can do as an organization to help you recruit the next generation of young commercial real estate, gurus like yourself, we're in. You guys are amazing. We can't wait to celebrate you, your entire family, your hard work and dedication to making New Jersey an example of what can happen when you have a team of visionaries like yourself making these iconic places for our state to shine. So you're going to be honored on November 8th as top 25 Force for Change honorees, and we're so honored to have you, and thank you so much for your time today.
Likewise, Linda, we really do appreciate it. Thank you for all your time and effort that you put into this organization too as well, because it's important, very important.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.